Decision Making with Msquared, and if you guessed it, I'm Msquared. We're going to be going over the key tips and tricks I can give you for decision making, which I believe is the hardest part of this game, as quick decision making is completely what will win you the battle and the overall, victory royale. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first decision you're going to want to make is based on what the map tells you in the lobby of where the bus is going to go. You want to decide for yourself what your skill level is, how much you enjoy the beginning fight and the randomness that brings the beginning fight. If you are okay with being completely random on what guns you'll get and kind of what you'll have to defend yourself, then I would recommend landing in the very first name location that the bus can drop you off at. If you are not into this, I would recommend going halfway or a little bit past it, and once it gets there, try to pick the first name location that is closest to this. This will get you a moderate fight. Pick a location that is much smaller and maybe not named if you don't want really a fight at all. You just want to, mat up and also be able to get the guns that you can actually defend yourself with. This is the first encounter of this match that I played. How I knew that I was about to encounter someone is that I could hear their footsteps on the outside. You want to try to pay attention about the different footsteps depending on what you are on. So if you're on the grass, if you're on the concrete, if you're on a building, if you're on brick for some reason, they all have a different sound within this game. While I agree with most that the sound is not the best, it does give you some indication of what is going on. So right now I'm trying to locate this guy. I did this by taking the highest ground you can right here. And by highest ground, I mean the natural highest ground without building. Once I was able to identify where this guy was, I could tell he opened the door and moved into this soccer field, and I just simply sprayed down at him very calculated. I did not continue to just shoot. I made sure to aim well first and then start shooting, and I also shot with a silenced weapon. This next guy, I realize, is moving towards the other side of where I just killed this guy. And I know exactly where he's going to be, which is the kind of like lobby area of this stadium. And I'm going to try to bait him out. And normally a good player would either run out to the way he just came from, or they would run out that door, and then I was going to shoot them depending on what his reaction. But his reaction time was actually much too slow, and he didn't even have time to react. And by the time he realized what was going on, I had already thrown another grenade at him to make sure that he would die. This is important when you're going for wins over how many high kills you would like, or, to show off, because I was able to finish that battle very quickly, almost instantaneously, and I also took no damage, I didn't lose any ammo, and I didn't build anything. So these are just small things you can think about when you're first starting to understand how to finish the fight more quickly, and the easiest way to just kill someone without having to engage them and lose, let's say, all your shield or even down to your health. Now, I like to make sure I'm matted up before I engage too many people, so that's what I was doing throughout this. I can see this guy. I want to take a shot at him, and unfortunately I shot right at the last second, and I don't know why that I did that. That was actually not a good decision. But I did alert him of what's going on, and now he's going to push me, and I'm assessing what he's going to do. And that's why I won that fight. It's because he completely decided to rush me without any knowledge of what I had, how good I was. He just decided to basically catch me off guard, even though I was the one shooting at him. I would never recommend, if someone just shot at you, to immediately become too aggressive, because they can read you better. Now this guy, he believes I'm still over there because he heard the fight, which that's natural for him to think that. Now he's got the high ground right here, and I'm just going to try to distract him with these RPGs and make it so that I get the high ground. And look at that, I'm on the high ground, and he shot me down, unfortunately, but I'm going to continue to move. And now I realize he's right beside me. I no longer try to build, and I immediately move to my gunplay. I know for a fact, because I've played video games for a very long time, that my gunplay is very good. And I can normally hit my shots, especially when I'm, you know, just having a good, decent game and remaining calm.
Sir, prepare ship for light speed.
No, light speed is too slow.
Light speed too slow?
Yes, we're gonna have to go right to ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed, go! Bullshit! Just stop this thing! I order you! Stop!
I usually try to rotate to the next largest named location to wherever I landed. In this case, it was Snobby Schnorrs. And I hear some guys fighting in the distance. I'm honestly not sure how far away they are, so I want to get to a high ground. I see this guy. He's pretty far away and just running. I always like to get, if possible, even though it allows people to know what I'm doing, I like to get a few shots off first and see if I can hit them with something long range, if I have something like that. In this case, I was able to hit this guy 3 times with my Scar, meaning he was very, at least all of his shield was gone. I'm building and I'm trying to see the way that he builds. Is it good? Is it bad? What is he doing? He's got the high ground, but I'm not worried about it right now because I'm only worried about locating him and where he may be. I have an RPG with me as well, so I have some decisions I can make in order to bring him down a lot easier than just, you know, engaging him in a way that could allow an opening to where he can see me. Now at this point, I realize he fell all the way down because I can hear the sound of him walking on the grass. I get a good little shot off on him, probably took away his entire shield. I'm going to move over to see what he's doing. He's building up again, which is not a very good idea because he's kind of far away and he's also not running to build with me. He needs to be running in order to build with me, because do you see how every time he's building, I literally just build right over him because there's like nothing. I get another good shot off on him. You got to realize that you don't need to keep building if you have a shot on someone. You need to take those shots. The more shots you can take at someone and do the most damage is honestly going to make them do something stupid or just run away from you so you can get the high ground or a better position on them. Now right here, he was very good at hiding and I could not figure out exactly where he was. He actually was able to get a med kit off. And now I realize he's right under there. And I'm going to move towards him. I hit him a few times. Again, I think he's probably without shield, so I'm being very aggressive. I'm making sure he can't shoot directly at me by putting ramps up. Oh, and now that's the problem with double ramping. I can follow you up the ramp, and whenever you decide to turn around, I can either build over you or I'm just right there, and I was able to headshot him right away. Now that's not going to happen in every case. You're not going to be able to follow them up, but if you see someone double ramping, I would recommend trying to shoot them down before they can wrap around, and this normally causes them to fall and take a decent amount of fall damage, which is very important now that buildings are so weak. Now I hear another guy in the distance, but I'm not exactly sure where he is. I'm going to take the high ground. Always try to take the highest ground you can, whether that be on a mountain naturally or if you have to build up to it. Now I know it's got to be him in this 1x1. So somehow he didn't take very much fall damage from that, but in reality he should have taken at least, 20%. It really didn't take that much. Now, right now, all I'm trying to do is locate him and build to a good amount above him to where he can't really shoot me that easily. Now, right there, he missed his second ramp. I'm thinking about shooting down at him, and this actually causes me to come down for some reason, and I don't panic. I stay on my build, and I actually make sure that I can't be shot. He continues to not get any sort of high ground. And this is another thing I like to do. I like to build, you know, a ramp up a wall and then come out of one of the walls, and someone just shot at me. So I'm going to build around me to make sure they can't shoot at me. Now I realize right here that he's shooting through my walls, trying to make it a little bit hard to distinguish where I am. I get a good little shot on him, get another good little shot on him. I'm looking to see. He's making good decisions right now by not letting me know exactly where he is. But I did just kind of randomly figure it out. And right here, I'm moving around to make sure he still cannot get me, even though I took a little fall damage. Okay, he got a little shot on me, but I still got shield. I still got health. I want to continue to be aggressive and make sure I'm hitting him. And now this is the biggest decision I made. You have to, when you hear someone about to med, you need to move towards them like now. He has no health. Any little, you know, damage, he could have stubbed his pinky toe and he would have been dead. You have to realize when someone's going to go to med. If you're not realizing that, you're going to lose more fights because you're giving them chance to basically reset and have, you know, if they've got shields, if they've got, you know, health, whatever they have, you're allowing them to get back up to it. And that's not a good thing. All right, so I'm down to here with, I believe, the final 5. And I see this guy. I'm going to take a couple shots at him. I get a couple really good shots on him. He's really weak, but this guy happens to shoot at me from the mountain and gets a nice little snipe on me. At this point, I'm simply trying to move towards the circle, which I know you guys can't see because I had to do this in the replay, but I know it is over by the soccer stadium where I actually initially started. So I didn't have to move much in this game, which is always nice. So now I want to keep moving because I know the storm's going to be coming, and you can see it moving to the right of me right there. I'm trying to make sure, you know, no one can see me. I want to be somewhere to heal up. I've got a campfire, so I'm going to switch to that. Use the campfire, get back up. I'm deciding, you know, what's my opponent going to do? Where should I go? What's the best decision for me? In this case, it's simply to stay here and wait until they move towards me, because they're going to have to move towards me. The circle is pretty much only on the stadium, so they can't stay on that big mountain for too long. The storm will continue to come in here in just a moment. And I realize, you know, this guy, he doesn't seem like amazing, but he's definitely, you know, taking some shots at me. I'm trying to build like a little base, and this is more of a I don't want to say it because I'm not a pro, but it's more of a pro move. You want to lay down as much as you can so that if they move towards you and the circle happens to be here, you have control of all of these different, you know, walls, floors, ceilings, anything like that. You can instantly edit them, and they cannot place anything, and they can also not edit your stuff. I wouldn't recommend. See how I changed that from a door? Because the door makes a sound when you open it, and that is giving your opponent time to think about it. So this guy's going up. He's like, I think high ground is the be-all, end-all of answers. And it's not. If someone has an RPG like I have, or they have C4, you're risking falling so far and taking so much damage, which he took a decent amount of damage from falling like that. He tried to take a snipe at me, which I wouldn't recommend. I'm not sure why he's trying to hit these snipes. Maybe he was getting cocky as well and thought he could randomly, you know, no-scope me or snipe me. Right now, he's really just randomly shooting at me. He has no idea where I am. I'm going to go ahead and build that in, so he does now know that I'm somewhere close to there. But I'm looking to see what he's doing. If I was in his position, yes, I would be doing that. I'd be looking for the person and trying to shoot them when they're not paying attention or when I've got some weird angle on them. In that case, he was able to move through the angle of the wall and hitting me. And that's okay. You got to remain calm. The biggest thing you can do in decision making is remain calm, because if you start making decisions based on, you know, panic, you're probably not going to make the best decisions. So just continue to try to move around. He's shooting randomly. I'm going to try to build up and wrap around on him. And he didn't see me right there, and I didn't see exactly where he is. So I decide to shoot a couple shots at him, see what he's going to do. Looks like he's going to stay in that 1x1, but look at that. I've got this perfect opening, and even though he knows I have this RPG, he continues to build up like that. thinking that I may be out of ammo, but I'm very sporadically using it on purpose. And now I shoot another one at him, and now he's almost dead. I don't realize that he falled yet, but fell. I didn't realize that he fell yet, but he did. So now I have to capitalize on this. I need to move towards him as fast as I can because I know his health is low. He may still have shield, but I know his health is low. I see that he built this and he's moving, you know, towards this thing to try to cover himself up. Honestly, I believe he wasted a lot of mats at that because I never saw him and never started shooting at him. I think he could have just, you know, kind of walked along that side and not given his position away so easily. But now I know for a fact he's in this little thing. Now he's going to double ramp. I'm going to try to get a few shots on him. Unfortunately, I got on the storm a little bit. He gets a little shot on me. I'm hurt. I'm ready to fight. I've still got more than him. I'm going to try to do a mini. He drops down, which was a big mistake because now I can switch to my gun. He's going to try to, you know, edit me out. Didn't work because I was able to build over him. And he only needed one shot. And there you go. There's the victory. You know, remaining calm, making the decisions will win you the game. Maybe not at first, but the better you can get at this, the better you will be. I promise you. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to continuing making videos for you and live streaming. Thank you so much.